welcome. And so again, three steps of this, right? We'll walk through and we'll do kind of an introduction of the materials. We have each of the programs. We have, and I'll walk through the. It's a pretty set pattern. If we had multiple people on the call and we were covering multiple groups, they're all in the same format, but we'll cover your power system one right up front, and then we'll talk about the application process. And then as we go, if you have questions, either you can ask literally ask out loud, or you can put in the chat window, whatever is easiest for you, right? Um, so we got obviously this is me. So, and just a quote in there from Jasleen, who's actually in my program. So it's just, I think she summarizes it well because it's that mix of knowledge, blending in your peers, and then it's the kind of the flexibility of the program, and then I'd say best in class, world class staff. And we're for 70 years of our existence, we were called engineering professional development. Now, I think to reflect a more broader base, we use the term interdisciplinary professional program. So if you hear us use InterPro, that's just an abbreviation of that interdisciplinary professional programs, right? And it advances the idea that education, the Wisconsin idea of education, is not to be kept in kind of like a citadel. It's to be shared and used for the development and growth of the community and the world, right? So that's why we're in the professional development. There's three pieces to us. We're talking the big piece on the right side is that online graduate programs. But as you've seen, we do professional development courses, the 2-day, 3-day courses, and then we do custom courses. But we're really going to spend most of our time on the online degree today. Um, I and a little side note. So I was in the MSc program, so the manufacturing system engineering program, when it was in person. So I was in. Oh, hi Nicole. I didn't see Nicole come in. Hello. I was in the MSc. If we kind of thought in terms of cohort, I was in cohort 3. My students are currently in about cohort 41, 42. In person. Now, my cohort is fully online, and I would say it's got all of the really good aspects. Oh, Nicole, you're fine. All the great aspects of the in-person program and the flexibility of online, which really opens up a lot of opportunity that you wouldn't have otherwise. So it's custom designed for working professionals. You can apply directly to, applies directly to what you're doing. And then internationally recognized faculty, experts in what they do, and we'll highlight when we walk through each of the programs. We highlight one of the faculty within the program. Nicole, to help me out, you can either say out loud or put it in the window. When we get to the degree programs, do you have a particular one you want to talk about, or a couple you want to talk about?
The engineering management one, ideally, is the one I'm looking at.
That is fair enough. We will make sure we cover that one. And then we have Matt DeHart in here. Matt is in Nicole. He's in the program you just asked about. He's the MEM, so that's Masters of Engineering Management. And again, same type thing. He's talks about he graduated. He leaves. Nobody ever leaves the Navy, but he kind of exits his naval career. He starts his new career, and he immediately starts applying his MEM program activities. Right. So you can read through the whole quote. If you look through the kind of the curricula, there's 5 pieces in there. So this is our, kind of our pie slices, but it's industry relevant, learner centered, it's innovative. It's as you look at online programs, it makes the topics, because again, we could just watch YouTube really and learn lots of stuff. It's the ability to be in a cohort, to be doing relevant work that applies to what you're doing, and to have people kind of, and I always encourage you, get to know your cohort, because the networking is huge and you have a very supportive world. So again, if you come back, we're going to do these info sessions basically monthly. I'm doing the first one representing, manufacturing systems, but I'll talk about all 5 programs. But it's just a nice opportunity because we're very, very personable. As somebody said earlier, they've got a one-on-one with Libby. Libby is one of our 2 academic advisors. Libby's just wonderful. Kareen is wonderful. Typical format, and again, we'll jump into the degrees in about another slide here, is we meet once a week in person for an hour. Outside the hour and in that hour, and again, my rule of thumb is if I'm just gonna just lecture at you, I record it. So there are recordings that are done, but if we're physically together, we're talking about class projects, we're talking about there's it's engaging type activity to one to get to know each other better and get to know the instructor better, and then have an opportunity to go deep in the materials, right? So we use a Monday example here. So like you'd see you'd get a series of recordings released on Monday. Sometime between Tuesday and Thursday, you're somewhere in there between Monday and Thursday, you're going to have that 1 hour in-person class, and then your work's due by the end of the week on Sunday, and then you repeat it. The programs are really designed to be done in um, a summer, if you picture a cycle, so it's summer, fall, spring, and then repeat one more time, you'll get 30 credits through. Some people do it slower. Some people do it actually can do it faster. We try to keep you to the 2 years if you can. So here's the program. We had Asan, you joined us. What out of the programs here, is there one in particular you're going to want us to maybe go deeper on? You can put it, you can either say it out, you can either talk, or you can put it in the chat window. Or we'll catch up to them in a second. So what we'll do here, so the format is for each of the programs, and um, we'll do power engineering first, then we'll hop back to, because you were online with us first, then we'll jump over to, so we'll do power first, then we'll jump over to engineering management, and then we'll answer what other programs people want. In each of the programs, what we do is we have a slide that just says, why is this program right for you? So there's usually like 3 bullets that kind of walk through, what's kind of the heart of the program. The next slide we show is a requirements, kind of the required courses and then the elective courses. We then feature a faculty person on the next slide, and then we repeat. Okay. Everybody good with that? So let's start with power engineering. Data analytics. Thank you, Asan. Okay, so the program's right for you. So this is, and remember, I'm the manufacturing guy, but they're all great programs. But again, the heart of the program, deepen skills in electric power systems, smart grids, control systems. Learn from faculty at WEMPEC. And that's WEMPEC is an acronym for it's a world-renowned research group in electrical machines and power systems. So Eric would talk really deeply about WEMPEC, and then gain applicable and theoretical knowledge of power electronics that you can apply directly to your work. So again, back to those themes, right? Deep technical, highly applied, renowned faculty. I won't in a lot of detail. I'll just let you read it. I'll give you a second to read through it. So again, the power engineering one, required course on the left, elective courses on the right. Take a second and just read through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll ask my question.
Oh, was there a question? I'll let you ask away.
Yes. Yeah. So, my question is, am I limited to these elective courses, or can I take something else if that's offered online?
You can. Okay. So now if you were in person, you have a lot more options. So what happens with the elective courses, these are representative elective courses, but you have to be able to find another one that's online that fits
Yeah.
within a graduate level. But they do exist. I've had students substitute other electives in my program, but it would be between your academic advisor and yourself to kind of talk through and say, hey, I see this class is available. They seem to be open enrollment, which means you can be allowed into it. Can I substitute that one instead? And that's a discussion between you and your academic advisor. When I was in the program a long time ago, I did all mine in applied statistics. because I was fascinated by design of experiments and kind of funky stuff in manufacturing. We catered that to me. But again, you got to be able to find a graduate level program that fits within the kind of the spirit of the program that your academic advisor thinks is that you and your academic advisor think is suitable.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Okay, and then what we do here is this is Geary. This is again representative faculty. You can kind of read through his background. Very impressive. Again, this is WEMPAC, which stands, again, I couldn't remember the acronym for the life of me. Wisconsin Electric Machines and Power Electronics Consortium. So really impressive individual, good, and just a good human being. Welcome, Alberto. Welcome. So with that, let me hop you back to, we're actually here. Before I move on, how did I do on, you feel fairly comfortable understanding the power program?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're gonna, let's see, so we also have an engineering data person. Alberto, which of the programs are you interested in? We'll figure it out as we go. Oh, sustainability. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's do engineering. We're going to do engineering management. So Nicole, this is the one you asked about, right? So it's picture, we'll sometimes call it an MBA for highly technical professionals, right? So it's a bridge between business and engineering, focuses in on communication skills, engineering decision making, and prepares for engineering leadership type things. So like the media, which is the engineering data side, the manufacturing side, polymer side, power side, we would say if you want to go deep technically, we steer you toward those programs. If you want to have some technical application, but you want to go, you see yourself maybe being a broader management or managerial person or leadership person, we steer you toward the MEM program. Okay, so
Yeah,
again, is this program right? Oh, go
what
ahead.
what's interesting is, yeah, I originally wanted to do the MBA, but I hated accounting, and I am an engineer, right now. I'm a project engineer at Rockwell, and I'm looking to get into management. But what's interesting about the capstone and the other programs I was just looking at, I took the polymer processing class in my undergrad there, and I didn't realize there was a capstone. I actually do injection molded plastics right now. Like, that's what I do at Rockwell.
Oh, wow.
So I wonder if I could combine those somehow. Do I have to do a capstone too, or no? Is that separate?
Let's look at the requirements here. In the MEM side, we talk about capstone certificates,
Okay.
but
I just didn't know there were polymer,
yeah, you could.
capstones. Because that's what I do right now. That's what I'm pretty much like a subject matter expert in, but I'm trying to get more on the management.
When I was in graduate school, I was doing, I was making, I was doing polymer extrusion, and that's how I got into the design of experiments. Right. So,
Oh, very
yeah,
cool.
it's pretty flex. You'll love Nicole on the polymer side. Nicole is our program director for the polymer program. Phenomenal
Okay.
person.
I
I
had
won't read through it.
Oswald, the one class I took with Oswald, it was great.
And
So,
Tim just retired.
yep, I heard.
Yeah, but it was around a long time. I used to be in the old Palmer lab, which was next to the reactor. But you can get kind of a sense of this, right? So again, selection, how we're using the words like selection of elective courses that just says, hey, these are typical, but you do have freedom.
Mhm.
And again, so like in your case, you'd work with not Susan, you work with Heather to identify. It says, hey, I like most of this. I would love this substitute in a polymer class. Could I do so? And that's a dialogue.
So there is no capstone like project or anything requirement?
No, not that
Okay.
I know of. There is a capstone in one of these programs, but it's not in this one.
Okay, just wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to use the word lovely. It's a lovely program because, and a lot of people, again, if you really want to focus on the leadership side, we steer you toward MEM. If you want
Yep.
to, and again, you're not leadership less in these other ones. It's just if you want to go deep techie, we steer
Mm-hmm.
you into one of the other programs.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
And then you've got Steve King. Again, so he teaches EPD 710, number of books in leadership, past president of this, professional, again, long tenured thing. So even though I was an MSc grad, I spent 31 years working at Caterpillar, freelance for a few years, and then joined the university about 2 years ago. I'm fairly typical of a lot of our faculty. So either, people are deep technical on, deep from the university side with industry experience, or industry people who are coming to the university side.
I worked at
Let's
CAT too. That's funny.
Did you really?
Yeah, for 4 years. I'm
Tech
all
center?
manufacturing. Sorry, what?
Tech center?
No, I was an ME in their actually it was Bucyrus. They got acquired, so the mining equipment in
I
Milwaukee.
know I know
Yeah.
them well.
Mm-hmm.
We can chat offline, and I pulled off my 100-year cat pullover to put on my university one.
I did welding there, yeah. So completely different, but
I understand. Let's hop over to we'll do the engineering data side. Again, it's the same format. And this is Sinan Tassa's program for Asan. So again, tools and analyze, visualize, act on complex data, build in demand skills in machine learning, predictive modeling, engineering data analytics. Again, customize your path with electives. Again, theme is deep diving into engineering focus, data analytics type stuff, right? Electives, same type thing, right? I'll let you read through that. And you notice again, Sanan's got his pretty broad in the elective side, right? Again, same type thought is you take the core classes and then you round out what kind of feeds your curiosity. And you're not limited by the lists you see. You're limited by more, again, those are always the baseline. Those are the ones most people take, but there's always flexibility if you can find an online version that fits within your schedule that makes sense to you and your advisor. Um, Tony Orzakowski was an Abbott Lab or Abbott Diagnostics person for a long part of his career, just recently retired. 35 years of data analytics and things like that. He started his own company, but again, typical. I would say, yeah, you can kind of see a theme between the people you're seeing. Okay, let's see, and then Asan, we wanted to do sustainable engineering, sustainable systems. So again, sustainable principles in engineering practices, sustainable engineering design. Has more of a combination of environmental, social, economic type stuff inside of a renewable and sustainable framework, right? So where the last bullet, position yourself to create and lead sustainability and renewable, sustainable energy projects through your organization, your clients. So we'll show the thing here. Hers is the sustainable engineering. I wouldn't say it's confusing. It's just different in format to the other programs, right? So there's a core requirement, and then you pick from, and it's the same. It's still a 30 credit program. You pick from your electives are down on the left side, and then you've got they're required, but they're not all required, if that makes sense. You pick from the sustainability required, you pick from the required engineering side, and then you supplement up the remaining credits out of the elective side for what it's worth. And then Jim Tingen is your focus faculty. Um, Jim is just highly regarded, teaches EPD 669, 13 years in practice. He is a cornerstone in the sustainable and renewable energy world. Okay. Any other programs? Let's see. I think I covered everybody.
I have
Okay,
a
so
question.
yeah, good.
Yeah, so even if I do the ECMS in power, I'll probably go the route of first doing the power conversion and control graduate capstone. I'll probably try to complete that first, and then I believe I can just transfer over those credits to the MS, right?
Ooh, I didn't fully understand if you could repeat it,
Yeah,
or either that or put it in the chat window because there's some nuances in your question that I
oh,
lost in
sure,
listening.
sure. Okay, I'll put that in the chat. And also another like general question, it is that how long do my credits remain valid? Um, Meaning that when, if I apply for graduation, um, how, is there a time limit on how old my classes can be?
Yeah. So if I let me just repeat. So I think I got. So you're asking about how long previous classes, how long can a previous class carry into the program?
Um, Kind of. No, what I mean is that I probably won't be completing it in 2 years. I
Oh
will
no,
be,
yeah, you're fine.
no, it will be honestly closer to 5.
Yeah, and again, Libby would be our exact. It's at least
Yeah.
5. I think it's actually longer than 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So the question was how long could you be in the program?
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and by the way, if you take it, if you stop the program, and restart, there's some work you have to do. So I always encourage folks to try to stay continuous.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you run into the issue that you have to, I wouldn't say reapply, but there's a administration thing you have to do if you lapse for any period of time. But yeah, 5 years is doable. I always and again, it's not always, but having done a few different degrees, the longer they drag out, the harder it is. If you ever stop, it's hard to get going again. So I always try to keep people, try to keep moving on your degree. It just raises your likelihood of success.
Yeah. Yeah. That's understandable. Um,
Okay.
okay.
So we're going to cover capstone certificates real quick because that's on the side over here. Oops, sorry, I hopped too far. There's a series of capstones. So sometimes people start, they're in their master's program, they'll start really focusing on a master's level setup. They take like 3 classes toward a capstone, and they'll use that as their basis to continue into their graduate degree. So the capstone's an option too. So Nicole, we were talking about like polymers. Maybe you're like, I'm not sure about the advanced degree, but what I'm going to do is I really love the idea of getting some mastery in polymers. You could take a 3 credit polymer or 3 class, three credits each polymer certificate, capstone certificate, and then apply that toward your degree. So it's just an option. You can see that they exist for power conversion, exists for applied engineering management, and then engineering data analytics. So it's kind of like you start with 9 credits, and then sometimes people then extend. Especially if you've been gone for a while, it's nice because it's intimidating sometimes the longer you've been away to start back with a degree. And it's like, I just want to get my feet, kind of my foot in the water. They might start with a capstone certificate. Um, these are again, this is at a glance, it's an online program, same classes. It's just you're taking 3 of them. 2 to 4 semesters get done, fall, spring, and summer. Power engineering has an issue in that power engineering um, uh, has a slightly different credit. It's $1,600. It's not 16,000. So it's 1,300 per credit hour, $1,600 for credit hour in power, and the same type thing. So the requirements on the capstone is a little lower than the other thing is say somebody's GPA was low out of college, they might start in the capstone just to see if they feel like they really want to give it a shot. The 275 opens the door that and once you got some confidence, we mutually have confidence, we'll move you into the degree program. And then here's the final thing here. Right? So if you're applying for spring, November cutoff, right? So if you wanted to start, really you wanted to start in January, get your application in by November 1st. Summer is May 1st, and then fall is July 1st. Really straightforward process. It's we could CV, resume or CV, 1-page essay. Why are you interested in the program? How does this program fit into what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to do? And then sometimes, if say you're below the 3.0 threshold, but it's been like you've been out of school for 10 years, explain it, right? Just walk through, well, this isn't representative. My GPA was not representative of who I was or who I am. And anything else you think would be useful? Again, we always say 1 to 2, say around under 2 pages. Your academic transcript at this point could be the informal one. So, where it's like, well, my gosh, it'll take me a week to get the formal transcript. You can send us for this application, you can send an informal transcript, and then with acceptance, we move you on to the graduate school. At that point, they'll require the official ones, but just to get you going, the unofficial are fine. And then 2 letters of recommendation. I recommend 3. Because the number one reason your application is slow is that your well-intentioned person who loves you and wants to give you a recommendation is pokey. And so if you do 3, I run with 2, right? So 1 can lag a little bit. And, if you submit online, submit your application online, you go to grad, and actually Anna's going to help us out because there's some additional information coming up. Connect with a graduate advisor, that's Libby or Kareen. The program directors like Sinan and Joy and Nicole, myself, are all available if you have questions on the programs themselves. And we turn around the application, we turn around pretty quickly. If you decide to apply, if you email student services at interpro.wisc.edu, basically just say, make it free, basically please waive my application fee. And if we do, occasionally we have international students apply, we cannot waive the $6 international application fee that applies, but we can waive the 75. And then this is what I was talking about on additional information. And thank you, Anna. Anna's put this in the window because it's a lot to type, right? So if you want to learn more about master's programs, you can go to the top one. You want to learn about capstones, you go to the middle one. And if you want to fill out, please do this, right? Please fill in the survey on how this webinar was for you.